Have you ever wondered who will truly be there for you when the years start adding up, when you're 60 or older, in your younger days? The answer probably felt obvious. Your family, lifelong friends, the people who have stood beside you for decades. But as you enter your 60s and beyond, something starts to shift. Life moves on, schedules tighten, priorities change. And suddenly, the safety net you thought would always be there may not feel so steady anymore. In this video, we are going to explore 6 powerful pillars of strength that often prove to be more dependable than even your closest relatives as you age. But do not worry, this is not about cutting anyone off. It is about recognizing where lasting support truly comes from and making sure that when life throws challenges your way, you are not left exposed or unprepared. By focusing on these 6 foundational elements, you can build a kind of strength and freedom that keeps you steady, no matter what changes come. So make sure to watch till the very end, because these insights can completely shift the way you view support, aging, and independence. And once you grasp them fully, you will never feel powerless, isolated, or unsure again. Let's dive in. The most dependable source of support you will ever have is not another person. It is your own financial independence. While money may not guarantee happiness, it certainly brings security, freedom, and peace of mind. As you grow older, it becomes more apparent that counting on family for financial assistance is not a strategy. It is a potential liability. Your children are dealing with their own responsibilities, managing their own finances, and supporting their own households. Even if their love for you is deep and genuine, they may not be able to offer help exactly when you need it most. Take the story of Richard, a 72-year-old father who always assumed his children would be there for him if he ever ran into financial trouble. Over the years, he had supported them through college, offered loans when times were tough, and always answered their calls. But when an unexpected medical crisis wiped out his savings and he turned to them for assistance, he was met with a sobering reality. They were drowning in their own mortgages, bills, and financial demands. It was not that they did not care. It was simply that life is unpredictable and often unfair. This is why financial independence stands tall as one of the most powerful pillars of lifelong support. It is not about becoming rich. It is about being ready. It means having a safety plan for emergencies, a consistent source of income you can rely on, and a smart approach to managing your finances, so you're not forced to rely on anyone else to meet your basic needs. If you are in your 60s or beyond, now is the time to pause and reflect. Have I saved enough to cover emergencies? Is my retirement income secure? Have I taken steps to reduce the financial risks that could leave me exposed? If any of those answers are uncertain, then the time to act is right now. Start learning how to budget effectively. Steer clear of unnecessary debt and focus your investments on long-term financial stability. Because no matter how unpredictable the road ahead may be, your financial security will always be the constant standing firmly beside you, ready to protect, provide, and empower you through every stage of life. There's one thing in life that no amount of love, money, or support from others can replace: your health. After 60, your body becomes either your greatest ally or your biggest obstacle. The truth is, you can have all the financial security in the world, but if your health fails, your freedom disappears. And while family may care about you, they can't exercise for you. They can't eat the right foods for you. And they can't stop the effects of aging for you. That responsibility falls entirely on you. Too many people neglect their health, assuming that when the time comes, someone will be there to take care of them. But the reality is, even if your family loves you, they have their own lives. They may not have the time, energy, or ability to be your caregiver. And depending on others to manage your well-being can leave you feeling powerless. That's why prioritizing your health now is one of the most important investments you can make for your future. Take the story of Carl, a 68-year-old man who had always been active in his younger years, but let himself go after retirement. He figured he had plenty of time to get back in shape. But before he knew it, his energy levels dropped, his mobility declined, and simple tasks became difficult. His children visited when they could, but they couldn't be there every day to help him. Eventually, he realized that if he wanted to maintain his independence, he had to take control of his health. Not tomorrow, not next year, but now. You don't have to train like an athlete, but small, consistent efforts make all the difference. Move your body every day. Eat foods that fuel you instead of harm you. And take your checkup seriously. If you've been ignoring warning signs, aches that won't go away, difficulty walking, changes in energy levels, it's time to stop pushing them aside. Your future self will thank you for every healthy choice you made today. Because at the end of the day, your strongest support system isn't your children, your siblings, or your friends. It's your own ability to stay strong, active, and capable. And the more you prioritize your health now, the less you'll have to rely on anyone else later. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Now let's move forward. One of the biggest mistakes people make as they get older is isolating themselves. Maybe it happens slowly. Friends move away, loved ones pass on, and before you know it, your social circle has become smaller than you ever imagined. The problem is, without strong friendships, loneliness creeps in. And loneliness, especially after 60, is dangerous. It doesn't just affect your emotions, it affects your health, your mental sharpness, and even your lifespan. You might assume that family will always be there to keep you company. But here's the truth. Your children have their own lives. They have careers, families, and responsibilities that keep them busy. They may love you deeply, but they can't be your only source of companionship. That's why one of the most important pillars of support is your social network. The people who check in on you, who make you laugh, who bring energy into your life. These relationships are not a luxury. They are a necessity. Look at someone like Margaret, a 73-year-old woman who always relied on her family for companionship. She had 2 sons, both of whom loved her dearly. But as the years went by, they became busy with work and raising their own children. They still called, but the daily visits and weekend gatherings grew less frequent. Margaret started to feel lonely, waiting for phone calls that didn't always come. Then she made a change. She started reconnecting with old friends, joining a community group, and even picking up new hobbies that introduced her to new people. Suddenly, her life was filled with conversations, shared laughter, and a sense of purpose. She didn't have to wait on her family to feel connected. She built that connection herself. Friendships, community groups, and even casual acquaintances give you something priceless, a sense of belonging. Whether the neighbor you chat with, a book club you attend, or a group at your local gym, having people in your life outside of your family creates a foundation of emotional strength. And the more connections you build now, the more support you'll have in the years to come. So ask yourself, who do you have in your life right now that brings you joy? If the answer isn't clear, it's time to expand your circle. Because at the end of the day, a strong social network isn't just about having company. It's about having people who lift you up, remind you of your worth, and make every stage of life richer. One of the most overlooked sources of support in life isn't another person. It's your own sense of purpose. After 60, many people start to feel a shift. The roles that once gave life meaning, being a parent, a worker, a caregiver, start to fade. Retirement sets in, children become independent, and the pace of life slows down. And without a clear sense of direction, it's easy to start feeling invisible, unneeded, or even lost. The truth is, no matter how much your family loves you, they can't give you purpose. That's something you have to build for yourself. Having a reason to wake up in the morning, whether it's a passion, a project, or a goal. Keeps your mind sharp, your emotions steady, and your life fulfilling. It's what keeps you engaged with the world, instead of just watching from the sidelines. Think about someone like George, a 70-year-old retired engineer. When he left the workforce, he was excited to finally relax. But after a few months, he started feeling restless, like something was missing. His days felt empty. His kids visited occasionally, but they had their own lives. That's when he decided to take action. He started volunteering at a local school, teaching young kids how to build things. Before long, he had a new reason to get up every morning. Something that made him feel valued, useful, and engaged with life. Purpose doesn't have to come from a job. It can be anything that makes you feel alive. Learning something new, mentoring others, gardening, painting, traveling, or even just setting personal goals. It's about doing things that bring you joy and keep you mentally and emotionally active. If you've been feeling like your best days are behind you, it's time to change that mindset. Your purpose isn't something that disappears as you age. It evolves. And the more you invest in finding meaning in your daily life, the less you'll need to rely on others for happiness. Because at the end of the day, the strongest support you can have isn't someone holding your hand. It's the fire inside you that keeps pushing you forward. Life has a way of testing you. No matter how old you are, after 60, challenges do not stop. They just change. Friendships fade, loved ones pass on, health issues arise, and sometimes life feels lonelier than it used to. The truth is, no matter how much support you have from others, the most reliable source of strength will always come from within. Your ability to adapt, to process emotions, and to find peace in difficult moments is what keeps you moving forward, even when circumstances do not go the way you expected. Too many people rely on family to be their emotional support system, believing that their children, siblings, or extended relatives will always be there to comfort them. But the reality is, everyone has their own battles to fight. They might not always have the time or energy to be the source of emotional stability you need. That is why building emotional resilience is so important. It allows you to find strength within yourself instead of constantly seeking it from others. Take the story of Helen, a 75-year-old woman who lost her husband after 40 years of marriage. At first, she leaned on her children for emotional support. But over time, she realized that while they cared deeply, they had their own families and responsibilities to manage. She knew she could not expect them to fill the void she felt inside. Instead of letting grief consume her, she focused on strengthening herself emotionally. She joined a support group, started journaling, and practiced daily gratitude. Over time, she discovered something powerful. She did not need someone else to fix her sadness. She had the strength to heal on her own. Emotional resilience is not about suppressing emotions or pretending to be strong all the time. It is about acknowledging pain, processing it in a healthy way, and developing coping mechanisms that allow you to navigate life's ups and downs with grace. It is about having outlets, whether it is writing, meditation, therapy, or simple self-reflection, that help you find peace within yourself instead of depending on others to provide it. No matter what life throws your way, the ability to stand strong on your own will always be one of your greatest sources of support. The more you cultivate emotional resilience, the less you will feel dependent on others to make you feel whole. Because at the end of the day, the person who will always be with you through every hardship and every triumph is you. If there is one truth about life after 60, it is this: nothing stays the same. People change, circumstances shift, and the things you once counted on may no longer be as reliable as they used to be. The key to thriving in this stage of life is not holding on to the past. It is your ability to adapt. Those who struggle the most with aging are often the ones who resist change, who cling too tightly to what was instead of embracing what is. But those who learn to adjust, to stay open, and to welcome new possibilities, They find joy and fulfillment no matter what life brings. Many people assume that once they reach a certain age, they are set in their ways. But that kind of thinking can be dangerous. It can keep you from discovering new opportunities, meeting new people, and learning things that could enrich your life. Being adaptable is not just about accepting change. It is about actively looking for ways to grow with it. Look at someone like Frank, a 78-year-old man who had always relied on in-person friendships to stay connected. When many of his friends moved away or passed on, he initially felt lost. He thought, I guess this is just how it is when you get older. But then, instead of resigning himself to loneliness, he decided to adapt. He learned how to use video calls to stay connected with distant family, joined an online discussion group about history, and even made a few new friends in the process. Instead of letting change defeat him, he allowed himself to grow with it. The people who thrive after 60 are not necessarily the ones with the most resources or the strongest support system. They are the ones who refuse to be stuck in their ways, who remain curious, and who find ways to adjust no matter what life throws at them. If a door closes, they look for another. If a relationship changes, they find new ways to connect. If something is no longer working, they are willing to try something different. Your ability to adapt is one of the greatest pillars of support you will ever have. It allows you to navigate life with resilience, optimism, and confidence. And the more you embrace change instead of fearing it, the less you will feel like you're losing something. And the more you will realize that every stage of life offers something new to gain. If you're still here and finding these insights helpful, type 6 in the comments below to let me know you're watching. Your support helps me continue creating content that matters to you. And if you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Turning 60 and stepping into the later years of life is a unique phase, one filled with both valuable insight and new challenges. And while your family may always hold a cherished space in your heart, the truth is that the most dependable support system is not found in others. It is created through the personal foundation you build over time. Your financial independence protects you from ever needing to lean on others just to make ends meet. Your physical well-being determines whether you will enjoy freedom and self-sufficiency in your daily life. Your social connections keep you emotionally uplifted, engaged, and rooted in community. Your sense of purpose gives each day direction, meaning, and fulfillment, regardless of your age. Your emotional strength is what carries you through hardships and lets you heal without losing hope. And your adaptability gives you the power to keep moving forward even when life takes an unexpected turn. When these 6 pillars are strong in your life, loneliness will never have the final word. You will not find yourself begging for help, feeling abandoned in tough times, or waiting for someone else to rescue you.